Hello everyone, welcome to another video talking Geeky. So this video is going to be about today's Nintendo Direct. So that'll be September 13th, 2022. My highlights and my thoughts. Wonder what. I'll give it a score at the end of this video and I'll let you know my overall thoughts. But let's go into the Nintendo Direct. My highlights. So what's my highlight today? First, Fire Emblem Engage, and I love the artwork. I think that was fantastic. It looks like a cleaner version of Three Houses. I think it's probably from the same artist. It's a lot more cleaner. I felt. I like the color palette, anime style kind of character design. They kept a similar format, gameplay format was pretty cool. So definitely looking forward to that. And they probably follow up with another Fire Emblem Warriors probably sometime next year for this one as well. Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I did like Three Houses and looking forward to this one as well. Next, Octopath Traveler 2. Loved the first one. I mentioned many times in the past that Super Nintendo was still at the moment, I would say, my favorite console of all time. Because of its JRPGs that time, and I love that kind of 16-bit graphics. I mean, the 16-bit graphics are still so in trend that most of these independent games are still using that kind of graphic style, and I don't see that going away anytime soon. Whereas where Octopath Traveler comes in, like a 2D, 3D animation, 2D, 3D kind of RPG style, and I thought it worked really well. That Alive, and yeah, definitely looking forward to this. I hope they will improve some of the mechanics from the last game, but definitely looking forward to this one. Fatal Frame. I actually quite like this series from the Wii days, and yeah, it's one of those games that a lot of my friends don't like it. I actually quite enjoy it myself, so I don't know why. I just enjoy it. It's not like I'm overly hyped for this game, but I like it, and yeah, definitely looking forward to this one as well. Yep, Fist of the North Star, fitness boxing. Big fan of Fist of the North Star anime movie. Grew up in the 80s watching all that, loved it. And I don't know if anybody remember back in what was it, 10, 15, 20 years now, in the arcade you had this kind of Fist of North Star arcade game where boxing pads would come out and you got to hit them in order. If anybody remember the arcade game, this kind of reminds me of that. So looking forward to getting some boxing done, but using Fist of North Star as a backdrop. Looking forward to this one as well. And of course, GoldenEye. Probably this is regarded as one of the greatest shoot 'em up games, first person, multiplayer, one of the best highly rated games, considered one of the best games of Nintendo 64 era. It's definitely up there. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely up in the top 10. It's one of the first. I never really liked first person shoot 'em ups back in the day. Maybe because back then controllers didn't have enough buttons or analog stick. But GoldenEye was actually the first person shooter that actually got me into that genre. The multiplayer was great. It was kind of pretty easy to get into, and also it had a good challenging. It was easy to get into, but it's like a bit of challenge to master. And me and my friends and family really had good fun playing multiplayer. So that was fun. Looking forward to this, and now it's got online play as well. So definitely looking forward to this. And Rise of 3. One of those, I'm a big fan of JRPGs, as many of you know, and this one, when I started playing it in PlayStation 4, I'm always looking for that quirky kind of JRPG, and I remember hearing about this, that it was pretty lot of people recommend it to me, and I read some reviews. Like this kind of quirky RPG that is not as big as the Final Fantasies. So really liked it. Got all two of them, even the side quests. I mean, the side quests are kind of like kind of in that universe, not just the main series, but there's other Atelier games out there as well. So I'm looking forward to this. I actually think part 2 was really good. I got it on the Switch. I thought that was definitely the better one out of the first two. Hopefully 3 can build upon what 2 has established. Pikmin 4. I would like the Pikmin games. They are good games, nothing amazing or outstanding. I just like the kind of nature of the game. Nothing too strenuous. It was pretty just kind of like a relaxing game. Didn't like the way that Miyamoto presented it. I suppose it was kind of a bit more of a, I don't know, anticlimactic really. But hey, Pikmin 4, it's been rumored for so long, and I'm just glad that it's finally here. Tales of Symphonia. I heard about this one. There was rumors about this game remake or remastered. This is actually my favorite Tales game back in the GameCube. Yeah, it was actually the one that really got me into the Tales series. I was always into it, but this one really got me. I like the characters, I like the story, I like the combat. I purchased this on the GameCube, then on the PlayStation 3 they remastered it. I think it was a Tales bundle or something like that. Got that for that, played it there. I hope that, the graphics looks a bit more polished. I hope that maybe just make some tweaks here and there, but this is my favorite Tales game. And last but not least, of course, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I know I've been reading on some articles, some social media, and even on YouTube. There was a few people that didn't like the title or the name. I don't mind it. Actually, pretty good. Some people, I think that people get so used to calling it Breath of the Wild 2. I mean, it's been so long since they first unveiled the trailer back in the day, and then we just kept calling it Breath of the Wild 2, and it kind of felt like it stuck with us. That's probably the reason why some people may be finding a hard time. I actually like the title, Tears of the Kingdom, and it's a shame the trailer was really short. I just felt that this game, they took longer to develop. By the time it comes out, it's over 6 years. Good thing it comes out around my birthday. I was born in May, so good present for myself. I feel that this game has been developed for so long, and they even said they have so many ideas. That's the reason why it got delayed. I felt that if they show even more, they would give away some of the secrets. So I kind of understand it from that point of view. And I think in a way it's also like, you show less, the anticipation keeps them growing and growing. So I'm actually okay with it. So it comes to what's my thoughts of the overall presentation. So what do I think? I think that with all Nintendo Direct, there's always a given hype surrounding it. You look at YouTube, you look at social media, you have all these content creators who's always predicting this, predicting that. And as a Nintendo fan as well, we are also guilty of it. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, okay, you hear all these content creators and you think of yourself, you kind of almost feel that it's going to happen, everything's going to materialize. Like, there was highly rumored about the 2 Zelda games, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD remastered. Then you got the Metroid Prime remake and the trilogy remaster or something. Maybe in the Metroid Prime 4 trailer or some detail about that. So they didn't show any of those. We got Zelda, of course, but I really wanted maybe the Zelda game bundled together for maybe $50, $60 or whatever to release during Christmas, the beginning of December, to round off the year, or maybe have the Metroid Prime game released late November or Black Friday period to kind of round the year as well. So we kind of give ourselves a lot of hype around that. In my mind, to be honest with you, I kind of got caught up in that as well myself. I thought, I actually thought there was a high chance that Zelda and Wind Waker and Twilight Princess would make a show. I was like 9 out of 10 in my mind that is definitely going to show. Um, Metroid Prime was more like maybe 50-50. Metroid Prime 4 trailer was even less, 30% chance of showing it. But there's always that hope in your back of your mind that they will show it. And not only that, and then myself hyping myself up is thinking of like, I was thinking, talking to my friend the other day, he asked me, what do you think? And I was throwing things like maybe a Arms 2 would come out, because I enjoyed the first Arms. Maybe Arms 2 will come out, and Mario Kart 9, which is highly, I don't think that's coming out to the next Switch or next Nintendo console. Arms 2 and Mario Kart, F-Zero, for example. I was thinking of F-Zero, bring back some, I don't want to say dead franchise, but franchise that needs to come back out. F-Zero, like Donkey Kong. Because Donkey Kong had his 40th anniversary last year or a couple of years ago, and nothing was really done. The highly rumored about the Mario Odyssey team was working on the 3D Donkey Kong, something about that. And I was also thinking maybe one of my favorite franchises on the Game Boy was Golden Sun. I would love to see a kind of full 3D modern take of this RPG. Maybe just hyping myself up really. But that aside, I thought this Direct was okay. I'll give it, I would say 7 out of 10. Because if you take away the hype, just ignore the hype for a few minutes and just look at the content inside this Direct. My highlights was the ones that I didn't know about. But there was rumors, of course, coming out, and that's a lot of pretty good games there. And then you factor in the games that we already know about that's coming out later this year to early next year, like the Bayonetta, for example, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Kirby's 35th anniversary. Those kind of games are pretty good. Then you got like some of the RPGs like Harvestella. Yeah, that's only one thing. It was probably, I think it's going to be a talk of the town, is there was a lot of farming games. I think 4 was shown, but out of all 4 of them, I'm probably saying Harvestella is the one I'm looking forward to the most, because he has a lot more RPG elements to it. So when you think about it, there's a lot of games packed into this, So when you take that into account, it's actually a pretty good Nintendo Direct, a pretty good, just a general video games Direct itself, because it does have a lot of games. I just feel that sometimes we just got to take ourselves out of the hype that we build ourselves, or we get influenced by other content creators. Because Nintendo Direct is unlike the Sony one or the Xbox one. There's a hype to it. Nintendo still does it the best, and you can see that Sony and Xbox have improved so much, and they're taking some ideas from Nintendo, especially Xbox. I mean, one of the Xbox ones I used to couldn't stand, because the Xbox presentations were about trailers, or like watching a movie. I'm just glad in the last one, it was a bit long. The last Xbox, at least they focus on gameplay, which I'm glad that Nintendo always done from day one. They focus on a lot of gameplay. So yeah, take your mind out of being so hyped by yourself, hyped by others. And solely, this is not a bad Nintendo Direct, of course. Deep down, as a Nintendo fan, I would say there was a couple of missed opportunities, but hey, maybe Nintendo will have a separate Direct for the Metro games and the Zelda HD games. We've seen them doing that this year. They always had like Xenoblade, Splatoon had their own Direct, so we could see one coming in October, one coming in November. Direct. And also they didn't talk about Pokemon, so we're probably going to expect another Direct maybe a month before the launch of Pokemon. So who knows? We can have 3 more Directs by the end of the year. just solely focus on specific games. Well, anyway, let me know what you thought of the Direct. Do you think you overhyped yourself? Or did you take a back seat and just look at it just from the content that you had? And thank you for watching. Please do subscribe for more talking geeky stuff. Until next time, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Please stay safe. Bye.